Hey, what's going on, guys? Well, gonna review another Walther product. This is the MultiTac, and this is a multi-tool. Now, it's a little confusing when I first saw this. You see the multi-tool in the front here, and then you also see a spiffy-looking knife, if you think that's spiffy. But it's actually just it's all one tool. It was a little confusing, right? I mean, I'm here with Christina. Christina's sitting next to me. She's been using this a little bit, and she might chime in some thoughts on this as well. But when we first saw this, we're looking for the knife. Say, hey, where's the knife? And then we finally realized that that is just a different picture of the same tool. So it's a little deceiving. You're only getting the multi-tool, not a knife with it, even though there's a knife attached to it. So anyway, so here's the box, similar to the Black Tech Tanto. You got a nice sheath, nice presentation box if you were to give this as a gift or something, you know. But you have the sheath here, and you also have your tool. Okay, so I don't need the box anymore. In the sheath, you could see, just like I mentioned in the other video, if you didn't happen to see it, the sheath is actually pretty good quality. It's nice quality nylon sheath, button snap on the front, Walther logo. Stitching's fine, nothing's loose. I wouldn't foresee this having, you know, too many problems if you wanted to use it, but I personally wouldn't use the sheath. What's cool though is you get a little separate pocket in the back which holds your little bit kit, and this did come with this tool, which is always nice to have some options for some different bits. All right, so you see that little pocket in the back there. All right, so get onto this and show you the knife, because it is, well, I mean, it's a multi-tool, but it has a, you know, main knife blade in here. A little bit on the heavy side for, you know, multi-tool. Not ridiculous or anything. I think it weighs less than 8 ounces, but we're gonna check here again real quick. All right, so we're at 8 ounces, 8.06, 8.05 teetering. All right, so not ridiculous, but, you know, again, a little bit heavy compared to what you guys might be used to out there with the Leathermans and stuff and some of the SOGs. There's some things I like about this, there's things I don't like about it, and same with Christina. The first thing I said, I mean, you have the knife blade, okay, which is nice to have a main knife. The first thing Christina noticed is that when you're opening it, it wasn't engaging every time. It is a liner lock, it's a cheap liner lock. All right, so sometimes she would open the knife, and you know it's fully extended here, it's not engaged. You actually have to push back all the way for that liner to fully engage and lock the knife. Once it is locked, it's okay. It's not bad. There's a pretty good lock up here, although I do feel the flex in the bar. So if this were to take an impact spine whack test, I don't want to mar up this particular table, but if you were to do a spine whack test, I have a feeling that it would either disengage and or bend this bar enough where it would not be secure. Okay, so I wouldn't rely on this particular lock. Just like the same problem I had with the other Walther branded knife. Blade steel, I mean, these are marked, I mean, they're marked made in China, but on the front here, they both had said 440 SS for 440 stainless steel. You don't know what series 440, and it's shoddy. They come pretty dull. You don't get much of a point on these. They're somewhat rounded. I mean, these are brand new from the factory. Same horrible, you know, Chinese combo edge. That serration portion does not come very sharp. It mars very easily. The teeth bend very easily. They grab material, they tear, they do not cut very good. They're not good serrations. Very low quality in that respect. The other thing I noticed too is that even when you get the blade engaged, when you're holding this knife, your pointer finger gets a horrible hot spot right here. You can see how it's very bulbous. It's just, I mean, it's good to quickly get to disengage that lock. That's nice, but it's way oversized. It's not ergonomic whatsoever. It's somewhat sharp jimping here, which would be effective when you're disengaging the lock, but when you're just using the knife, your pointer finger lands right there, and it's super uncomfortable. I mean, if you were to grip down with any kind of force, it's gonna hurt your finger quite a bit. So, not a fan of the knife. You can see it has a thumb stud on here. It is easy to get to and open up. Like I said, it does lock open, but besides that, there's a lot to be had with this blade. Not good at all, in my opinion. On the back here, you can see there's 3 different tools. The tools pop out very easily. You can see they're on some washers here. Very easy to open. Not a super strong back spring on this, so they don't stay open very well. Christina had pointed out that the can opener here, I pointed out the fact that it's ground nicely, okay, for the tip to pierce into the can, but you had mentioned what? That this is not really hooked very much.
Usually on can openers, this will be, if you were to put it this way, usually this thing's a little bit turned a little bit, so this way as you're cutting into the can, this is gripping the edge of it.
That's a very good point.
On.
So by design, it's just not going to work as effectively as some other can openers. Like I said, the tools do open and close very easily, which is nice. The second tool in here is just your standard bottle opener flathead screwdriver. The one thing we both noticed is that this is ground extremely thin for a flathead screwdriver. All right, so although this is going to be effective on those very thin flathead screws, if you have a wider flathead, this steel is not going to hold up to that abuse, and you will twist this and misshapen that flathead. I mean, it might be good for scraping, but you can see how incredibly thin that's ground. All right, so not a good thing. Also, we're not really quite sure what this notch is for. Usually that's where the wire stripper is on, you know,
There's
these.
no way that would strip wire.
Yeah, no, we don't know what that's for. I said maybe it's supposed to be like a parcel hook type thing, but that's pretty lame.
Far-fetched.
Yeah. So anyway, and then of course the last tool here is just a squared off piece of steel, which you're supposed to use in addition to this extension piece, which holds your standard bits. Now the big problem that I have with this one is that there's way too much play on this. Okay, so this is the bit extender or the bit holder that comes with this, okay? And it is magnetized, but it's a very weak magnet compared to other ones. But there's way too much play. I mean, it's ridiculous. Let me get a bit here. Okay, the bit fits in decently. You can see there's a little play in the bit itself, but in addition to the play from that extension piece, I just would not want to be working with this as a tool. It does obviously turn, but there's so much play that you would have a hard time lining screws up. It would just be more of a nuisance than it would be a helpful tool. So I did not like the fact that it had way too much play on it. Let's see, let me put these back. I want to talk about the pliers that are built into here. This is actually the coolest thing about this tool that I like, but of course there's yet another downside to this. Now you can see on the back here, actually on this side right here, here's the top handle. So you would pull that out, okay, and then this extends out completely, and we have our spring-loaded pliers, needle nose pliers with a wire cutter in here. Okay, I like this. I love this design. I love how it folds up. It's very slimline. I think it's really, really cool. The problem I have with this particular set is, first of all, the spring tension is very hard. So it's very hard to actually pull down. You can see the wire.
It's not smooth at all. It's like it stops at a certain point and you have to squeeze a little bit harder in order
There's a lot of resistance here. Plus, the one thing I mentioned is this angle on the handle is very strange. It's hard to get a good grip like this. I would much rather see this continue straight. I don't know if this is something that can be changed by design because it folds, but as Christina mentioned, where the stop is on here, that could be just lower, you know, and that would change the angle.
Probably
but
half of what it steps at, like right down here.
Yeah. It's very awkward to grip it like this, and like I said, there's a lot of resistance on this. The wire cutters, the bits actually pass each other, so it would work fine for wire cutting. They don't come short. Sometimes on cheap multi-tools, they like literally stop before they touch. So if you have wire in there that's a thin gauge, it never actually cuts it, you know. These do actually, you know, line up and then even pass each other a little bit. So we'll cut wire, that's not a problem. Because they fold in the handle, it's a very thin profile, which is actually not that big of a deal. In fact, I can see some benefits to that, so that's not an issue. It's just the angle on the handle makes it really uncomfortable to use. I can't see myself using these very effectively, at least compared to other ones. Yeah. I love that it folds in the handle, yeah. I think this would be really cool if it was literally half this tool. I can do without these three. I can do without the bit, you know, holder and the can opener and bottle opener. So if this tool was literally just maybe a blade, designed slightly differently, and those folding pliers, it would cut the weight, it'd be a lot thinner, be more effective. I like the idea of these folding pliers. They're really cool. It's really cool. I love the idea. It's just, I don't know, it wasn't executed very well on this particular tool. But of course, glass punch on this one, glass breaker style tool. Like I said, it's not hurting anything sticking out there. Would be effective for that. Oh, you have anything to add?
Not really. I do like the fact that it came with a big kit, though.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And rubberized, it is flexible. You could stick this pretty much anywhere in your kit if you wanted to. I like it. Same thing with the knife. You have proprietary screw heads on here. The only difference is that these you can adjust. They look like they're the same screw heads as a knife, but they're actually different. Actually, where is that knife? Yeah, let me show you this. Because this does have the Torx heads. It's just a similar design. Whereas the original tool here, see a difference. You can adjust these, which is nice. I don't know why they didn't choose these over on that tool. But anyway. Yeah, the idea is cool. And it would work in some fashions. I wouldn't trust the blade. Wouldn't trust it locking. It's not going to hold an edge. It's going to be dangerous for you because you're going to be trying to cut into things and it's not going to work out very nicely for you. Like I said, the pliers are really cool. The you know, the bit holder does work. It's just there's too much play. I just don't think this is a great tool. You sell for $20. For $20, there's other multi-tools you can get. I think you'd be a lot happier with. So I'm not impressed at all with any of the Walther stuff I've seen so far. Just Chinese multi-tools and knives that are using the Walther name. So when you get something like this or you see something like this in the store, don't think it's coming from Walther. Okay, if you've heard good things about the gun manufacturer, it has nothing at all to do with their knives and multi-tools. So I'd probably pass this one up. Just like the knife, I would you know, save your money for something a little bit better. There's certainly a lot better options out there for 20 bucks or so. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have a great day, and I will see you soon. Take care.